Good day. Greetings to another midday midweek. Frank and I are happy to be back from the tropical climes of Auckland for our
Yep.
AGM. We both returned safely. So here we are on another midday midweek. And I have to apologise publicly to Frank. I gave him the wrong start time and he was there very early.
Yes. Yeah, very early.
Never mind. We got there. We had our AGM. Frank, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, well, as you said, the AGM was in Birkenhead RSA, and as usual, Birkenhead always put on a great place for us to hold your AGMs. Regretfully, we had pretty low numbers. I think there was a total of 3, 4, 5, 6 on the floor and 2 on Zoom, which was pretty disappointing because I believe nearly 30 people had advised Morris that they would be joining Zoom. So we were all geared up, but nothing happened except for the 2 gentlemen that did turn up. But on the whole, we got rid of the AGM. Everything went well. The committee was re-voted in. I don't think there was any opposition, if I remember. So everything is back as normal. And as you can see, Dennis and I are here this morning. Thanks for those who bothered to go to Auckland. I will never do it again. I'm going to go on to Zoom next year because it is a horrible place. It took me 45 minutes to drive from Birkenhead RSA to Albany on a Saturday.
That's just up the road.
Holy hell. I could nearly drive from Otrahonga to Auckland in that time.
Yeah, it was a bit of an eye opener as far as I arrived on the Friday and struck the knock-off work traffic.
Oh God.
And I went from South Auckland, so I'd been out to the Bombays, and I was heading to Waimaku, north of Auckland. And all the traffic signs are telling you 80 k's or 100 k's, yet in many places you're inching along at 21 or 22 kilometres an hour. So a bit of a shock when you come from a rural area like this to be confronted with A, the traffic, and B, the slow speed. But there you go. That was that. We've done that job. So we'll let it sit until next year, or possibly. Yes, I agree with Frank. I think an AGM next year should all be online. It just saves the association a heck of a lot of money if we conduct it online, as far as travel and things like that to support the executive. So that less travel, better for us all. As we start to age, we can be there in spirit and digitally on a screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a couple of points that I've got for today. Let me just have a look. So follow on from the Constitution. We've now got the RNZ RSA draft Constitution for associations. So Morris is going to post that up so you can have a read of it. And it'll be up for about 3 months. If there are any points, things that you would like changed prior to us adding, so that's the base document, prior to us adding the little parts that will help identify us as an organisation. We'll add those once we've gone through a process of analysing what it says, things we'd like to change so we can shape it to suit our purposes. So look out for that one. And then later on we'll have a special general meeting and hopefully we'll put our hands up and approve a new constitution. I've been advised, I just picked it up off the Facebook this morning, the next case managers meeting for Wigram has been confirmed as the 15th of October this year. So that's, what's that, about 3 months away. So make contact with Joe Cox or Tom Turnbull and get in early so your case manager can be informed that you wish to appear. And as I've said before, some of the people who've notified their intention to attend have already been processed prior to the date of the case managers meeting. So there you go. Get in early, get something done. Now this one's a bit close to home. There's an article out on One News that was sent to me yesterday. I think she's a journalist, married to a soldier. Erin Speedy's her name, out at Burnham. And Chris Pink had been out visiting the housing. He took a few pictures of some of the mould and not good conditions that people are being faced with. And as a politician, he was making all sorts of noises about this is not good enough. We've got to fix this and so on. But when you consider that they cut 200 million of expenditure in Ohakea for the Poseidons and the cruise, and they've added 450 million over 25 years, or 400 million over 25 years for Wairuru, at a time when the government's asking government departments to slash 6% of their budgets, or between 6 and 7% of their budgets. I don't know how the associate minister is going to fix that problem at this current time. So it'll be something to watch with interest as time rolls along. And the young lady who has got involved with this, Erin Speedy, she's got a I think it's called Mission Homeland. It's a Facebook page. Go on there, have a look, and support our people who are still serving. They deserve much better conditions, and it's also, I would suspect, more than distracting to be concerned about the health of your loved ones if they're living in substandard conditions. And I'm sure there must be something under the Tenancies Act or something like that that allows you to take your landlord to court for the conditions that you're living in if they're not fixing them. So maybe that's something that they can be encouraged to do. Maybe the NZ Defence is the landlord, and perhaps sometimes they need to be held to account. I don't know about you, Frank. Have you ever been fortunate enough to be living in a dwelling supplied by NZ Defence in your time?
Yeah, yes, I was. I had two experiences. My first accommodation was in the Ngataranga flats in Devonport. They were very simple, very basic, but they were pretty good. They were close to the naval base. And then I was lucky to get a brand new house at Devonport. Not Devonport, sorry, Northcote.
Oh, right.
So I went from Wakura Crescent to a brand new house in Greenside Crescent in Northcote, and that was excellent. They even built a garage for my car.
Oh, well done. So I think I had one experience here in New Zealand. So that was out at Burnham, a little place in Pukeko Street. And the bonus of that was it had an open fire, but it also had a small chippy in the kitchen right beside the hot water cylinder. So that kept that alive, kept that burning, kept the water hot. The downside was that the fire in the lounge wasn't much use because the gap between the floorboards was just a little bit large, and the cold air used to suck in. Oh, there you go. So fortunate to have access to what was really quite, I think it was like $5 a fortnight or something like that.
Yeah, I know, it was next to nothing.
Yeah. So that was fortunate, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. Also grateful for the housing supplied in Singapore. I went from a small place in Burnham to one of those large flats, quite huge. It was like a mansion by comparison. The whole house in Burnham was about the size of the dining room and lounge in Singapore.
Is that those big white houses in the naval base?
Yeah. Oh, plus a nice place at I think we were at Sembawang as well. A little flat.
Yeah, Sembawang, yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was quite a nice place. But anyway, So look, the thing is, the people who are in service actually need our support. We should, excuse me, we should be hearing from RNZ RSA, making a bit of noise, advocating for these people as the kind of unofficial union that supports those in service. They need our support as much as those of us who've served. So if you can do something, raise your voice somewhere, or happen to bump into Chris Pink or Judith Collins, raise the issue, have a chat, show you're interested in the state of the health and well-being of those who serve today. And the second article is just and I'll post these below the video. This one comes from the BBC. So some of you may have heard of Camp Lejeune, I think it is, in the US, and this deals with an English officer who had been sent with his family to the camp on exchange. He'd been there for 2 years. And there has been, I've seen articles in the past in relation to the water quality in that place. Apparently there were various chemicals that were carcinogenic that got into the water supply, and sometime after this gentleman's posting with his family, his wife contracted a rare form of cancer that was connected to those chemicals. And the UK Ministry of Defence weren't exactly helpful. Happy to support the veteran, and I can understand that, like that's what their job is, but showed lack of response to his family, particularly the wife who had contracted this cancer. And I think that's a very common theme throughout all of the Western world. If you serve in the services, up until the day you leave NZ, the Defence Forces are interested in you. Once you leave, they're not interested in you, and they're also not interested in your family. And we have some of those issues around the exposure to Agent Orange, and I think also from memory, was it Ohakea and I think Ohakea more than Whenuapai, they had issues with those chemicals used to fight fires leaking into the groundwater around Ohakea. So good that they responded, good that they've done something. But again, a family unit is important to those of us who are serving. And if you're worried about the wife and kids, you're not doing your job overly well. So
yeah,
exactly. Maybe there needs to be something changed. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. The old naval way, and when I was in, they said if you were to have a wife, we would have issued you with one. So they had a different idea.
Yeah. So there we go. Crossing the bar, Frank.
Right, well, I've got three this morning. NZ 9066, Dermallamanche Ernest Clifford, known as Ernie, Royal New Zealand Navy, World War II. He joined as an ordinary seaman and served till the end of World War II. Crossed the bar on the 20th of July, 2024. A service for Ernie has been held on the 25th of July, 2024. E19646, Goldsworthy, Brian Michael, known as Goldie, able seaman gunnery, joined 169, left 174. Goldie crossed the bar peacefully, surrounded by his family on Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024, age 72. Celebration for Goldie's life was held Monday, the 29th, 2024. 18684, Howell Michael, mechanical engineer, first class, Royal New Zealand Navy, crossed the bar Friday, the 26th of July, 2024, after a long fight with his health. Mike served on Taranaki and many of the motor launches. His funeral will be held Simpsons Park Hall in Lawrence, Friday, the 2nd of August at 1300. We'd like to convey our condolences to all the sailors and their families.
Thank you, Frank. 802659. Gardine, William, 1 NZ Regiment. And that's the briefest of brief. I think it was posted about 55 minutes ago on NZ Mayvet's page. I think he was aged 90 years of age. 378491. Costello, Kevin John, passed away 30th of July, age 78. He was a private in 1R and ZIR, served in Malaysia, May to November 68, Vietnam, November 68 to November 69, and Whiskey 2 Company. And he passed away on the 30th of July, 24. And another one, Victor 213482, Haynes Noel. When I knew him, he was a sergeant, I think. Last seen, I last saw him in Brisbane, and he passed away 3 or 4 days ago. So again, our condolences to all the families of those who have served and passed. And last but not least, from the RNZAF, Air Vice Marshal retired, Neville, first name Patrick, CB, OBE, AFC, RAF number 2504665, New Zealand E77606, RNZAF from the 14th of July 55 until the 15th of October 1988, and the Force Commander, NZ Force Southeast Asia, at one point in his career, and appointed to the Chief of the Air Staff October 86 to October 88. So our condolences to all the families, and if there's anything that we can do to support you, put you in touch with the RSA support people, by all means make contact with us, and we'll see how we can help you. So the ode, Frank, would you like to do that today?
Yes, I'll start off with the naval ode. They have no grave but the cool sea, no flowers lay at their head. A rusting hulk is their tombstone, avast the ocean bed. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Lest we forget.
Thank you for that, Frank. Much appreciated. So there you go, people. That's us for today. Remember, not only look after yourself, but stay in contact with your mates wherever they may be. It's easy today with email and Facebook and all the other social media. You can quickly be in touch with people wherever they may be. If you're traveling through somewhere, drop in, say hello. And yeah, keep looking after those of us who have served, because in our case, for many who served in Southeast Asia, Veterans Affairs won't be, and maybe ACC might be. There you go. So thank you for your attendance. Thank you, Frank, for being here this morning, and we'll catch you all next week. Smiling again. Hopefully the weather will have settled by then and we'll be back into a bit of sunshine.
Excellent.
Okay.